Platoon, Wall Street, Born on the 4th of July, JFK. Oliver Stone's vision has changed the way we saw our past. Now he takes a look at where we are and where we're going. And you will be shocked.
As stated in the trailer for Natural Born Killers, we previously saw how Oliver Stone tackled subjects in our recent history. Today we will look at how he sees our present and to a certain extent envisions our future. Natural Born Killers follows Mickey and Mallory, a husband and wife serial killing team. The film follows them as they commit a series of killings throughout the United States, go into hiding in the desert, and eventually to prison. Throughout all of this, two other characters follow them just as closely as us. The first is Detective Jack Scanetti, who has the facade of being a noble officer of the law, but deep down is just as crazy as the two killers. We witness him strangle a prostitute and agree to kill Mickey and Mallory during their transfer to the mental hospital. We also watch Wayne Gale, a TV journalist who sensationalizes the duo, elevating the two until they have an avid fan base. The way the media sensationalizes criminals was Stone's main concern when producing this film. Mickey and Mallory are portrayed as rock stars and partially excused for their crimes because they both grew up in abusive households.
Tonight, I'm standing on Highway 666, running through towns like Cortez, Shiprock, Sheep Springs, and ending in Gallup, New Mexico. To some, a beautiful stretch of the American landscape, but to Mickey and Mallory Knox, who are still at large, it is literally a candy lane of murder and mayhem. Patrolman Gerald Nash was just the first of 12 peace officers that Mickey and Mallory murdered during their reign of terror. In the ensuing chase, a tragic murder occurred. American bronze medalist marathon bicyclist Brian
So many others in the grave.
Mickey Knox, thank you for this time. I've got a few questions I'd like to start off with, if you don't mind.
Well, let's roll the dice, Wayne.
Mickey Knox, when did you first start thinking about killing?
Birth. I was thrown into a flaming pit of scum, forgotten by God.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I came from violence. It was in my blood. My dad had it. His dad had it. It's all just my fate.
You believe in fate, boy?
My fate.
No one is born evil, Mickey. It's something you learn. What about your father? How did he die? You were only 10 years old, and there's a lot of speculation.
I didn't kill my father, and I don't want to.
Stone was a young adult during the 60s and 70s, a period when this fascination with serial killers really began to take off. Notorious figures like Charles Manson and Ted Bundy were consistently hyped up in the press, causing a cult following of fangirls even while they were in prison. The movie also came out only a few months before the trial of O.J. Simpson, considered one of the most publicized criminal trials in history. Just as with O.J., we watch as Mickey and Mallory get away with the crime they committed, which Stone argues is indicative of the times.
The idea was that in the 90s, they get away with it. People do. And that, of course, aggravated a lot of people who want to see Mickey and Mallory get their just desserts. However, the police don't do it. It would be a psycho. It would be somebody of their own ilk, like Owen. So it's an interesting dilemma, but I do feel that Mickey and Mallory have gone through quite a few changes now in the movie, and that they are really moved on the road. They're anti-heroes in the sense that they do go underground now. They fought the media. They destroyed the media. They sound like they're going to go straight right now. On the other hand, you never know. They might come back for more.
Some argue that the film, to a certain extent, did what it feared and caused a series of copycat killings. While Stone agrees that the film is controversial, he does not believe he has blood on his hands, stating, begin quote, "Almost everything that was important about Natural Born Killers was overlooked amid all the hysteria over the death toll, and all of the nonsense about whether or not I was promoting violence or instigating murder," end quote. This statement rings true. The media did not heed the warning of sensationalism. Fascination with true crime shows continues to rise, with the Ted Bundy tapes and the People vs. O.J. Simpson being notable examples. Edward Snowden is one of the more controversial figures in recent memory and is rightfully described as an Oliver Stone dream character in many pieces about the film. Snowden follows him from his start training for the Special Forces all the way until he gives his famed interview after leaking security information. Originally a conservative, throughout his work in the CIA, Snowden goes through a similar disillusionment with our country's institutions as Ron Kovic does in Born on the 4th of July.
Noon, but the food's a little too spicy. This way. You're just lashing out.
No, I'm not lashing out. I'm questioning our government. That's what we do in this country. That is the principle that we are founded on.
Okay, but how about questioning the liberal media? I mean, you're just buying into what one side is saying.
Maybe I am, because my side is right.
See, that's funny, because my side's right.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Huh. Why is it smart conservatives always make me so mad?
Probably because you don't like hearing the truth.
Well, it's not dirt that we need necessarily. It's a pressure point, just something intimate, some kind of weakness. Can we look through his family?
Mm-hmm. How about his sister-in-law?
Yeah. What is that? Is that some video that she sent somebody?
No, this is live. Out of Paris.
What do you mean live?
Optic nerve? It's camera and mic activation.
I wish we could take credit, but the Brits wrote it.
Activation? Yeah, her laptop's off. Or it was, she just forgot to close it. Of course, how would she know? This shit is so sly, the webcam light doesn't even turn on.
While Snowden leans fully into the conspiracy surrounding our intelligence agencies and the secret price of national security, it fails to lean fully into the controversy of Snowden himself. Stone portrays him as an American hero, but the truth, as many point out, is more complicated. During the interview in the film, Snowden states that after he released the classified documents, he no longer had access to them. However, the real Snowden released information about specific targets of the CIA after that interview, which many argue is when he went from whistleblower to traitor.
My name is Edward Joseph Snowden.
Richard Brody of The New Yorker writes, begin quote, Snowden is a film about the making of a film, about the creation of a public image, a hero, an icon, and a celebrity who didn't merely divulge information about illegal actions taken by the United States government, but at the same time made himself the star and the synonym of those revelations, end quote. This interpretation is reminiscent of the warning of natural-born killers. Stone's failure to look at the complexities of Snowden and his relationship with the media after the leaks sterilizes the history. However, it does allow Stone to go back to his traditional optimistic ending.
Do you still think it was worth it?
Yes, I do. Without the information to start a public debate, we're lost. You know, the people being able to question our government and hold it accountable, that's the principle that the United States of America was founded on.